Insight is cake. Hi, my name is Josh Race. I'm in the Toastmasters learning pathway called Presentation Mastery. This is level 2, and the topic is communication styles. So the thing about communication styles that I'm learning is there are 4 presentation styles. There's direct, initiating, supportive, and analytical. And the important thing is I learn what my style is, how I can adapt to different situations and apply the right type of style in that situation. When I opened up the pathway, I was surprised to see that there's a communication style assessment, which is awesome because you see, I'm a navel gazing knowledge addict, and I'm happy to drown my sorrows in some self assessments. So, at the same time, I'm also very cautious because when setting out to make change in one's life, we all need some insight. And that is the cake. It's the insight cake. When I first saw the assessment in the pathway, I thought to myself, oh, here we go, an assessment, some insight cake coming up. You see, if I don't turn this communication style insight into mental muscle, then I may as well just literally eat cake. But as you can tell, I'm giving it a try. I'm pretty sure Toastmasters is going to help me build some muscle. So I took the assessment, and I'd love to hear what you would consider to be my top 2 communication styles when giving speeches. I'll have a survey for you to fill in, so please do that at the end of this speech. And what I just shared with you about being a knowledge addict isn't actually very easy. I've never said, hi, my name is Josh, and I'm an insight addict. But it is true. And this got me thinking, what are some of the other kinds of insights I've collected over the years? I'll start with kind of one of the most primary personality types or traits that we're familiar with, and that is astrology. So we'll start with Chinese astrology, since we just entered the new year. It's the year of the dragon. And I am a metal pig. So over here on the bottom right, you can see the pig. And I was born in the year of the metal pig. And my wife was born in the year of the wooden rabbit. And we're compatible. That is very reassuring. It plays well with my confirmation bias. Western astrology is also interesting. According to the internet, 1/3 of American adults read their daily horoscope. I used to do that when newspapers were still on paper. I'm a Gemini after all, curious to a fault. Now, when I ask myself what benefit has come about in my life from knowing that I'm a Gemini, I can't think of anything other than knowing that I have a handful of cousins who are also Geminis and that we can have fun with that together. So it's really just a social benefit, I suppose. And what about some of the more professional assessments? The Clifton Strength Finder. I'd like to challenge anyone who has taken the Clifton Strength Finder to see if you can flex your mental muscle and say what your strengths are. I'm an activator and a learner, but I'm honestly not flexing. I took this test in 2015 and I remembered nothing. So it's nice to read that I'm uniquely powerful. Wonderful. But the activator, learner, that's not something that ever developed into muscle for me. It was just cake. So how about this one? This is the Leadership Circle Profile. I did this as part of a 360 review in 2018. In this model, you do a self-assessment and then you request 10 of your coworkers to also assess you, including your boss and everyone. And very briefly at the top here, the green shaded area are the traits and behaviors that others found that I have. And the dark green is my own self-assessment. The bottom of the chart is the reactive or unhealthy behaviors. And again, the lighter green shade is what other people feel I have, and the darker green is the my self-assessment. So you can see that I wasn't very good at having the same assessment as my peers. And what I've learned is that I way underestimate my creative capabilities, and I way overestimate my reactive, unhealthy behaviors. And the realization is just that I'm hard on myself. So that's good insight, right? Has that helped me navigate life better, or is that just cake? I'm not sure how much that really sank in until I set up this speech, and now it's hitting me a little bit deeper. The motivation code. In this self-assessment, you're giving prompts to tell stories, and the software decodes your stories into motivational themes. M code extracted from my stories to determine that I'm someone who rises to meet the challenge. I'm a 10. And I also like to demonstrate new learning. So learning, there's a theme for me. Who doesn't like to learn new stuff? But again, am I really learning? Is it helping me navigate my life? Have I built muscle from this? Or am I just eating cake? And I did bring this up when I took this. I did bring this up with HR when I was at the company I worked with when I did this, and used this to explore different roles. So it was a muscle that I did start to put into action, but it's not one that I continued to build over time. And how about positive intelligence? This is a framework I use to coach others, where the goal is to uplift your emotions and behaviors, ideally so that they're sourced from a positive mindset. And there's an assessment for this too. The objective is to identify your saboteurs and predict where they might show up so you're ready to transform them with a sage power. Here on the left is the bar graph showing my progress using the sage powers, and I practice this daily, so this is real muscle building. And you can see the navigate is looking strong. And in this case, navigate, it means to go within and ask your elder, wiser self for their perspective. It's not an assessment that you take out there, it's an internal inquiry. So what I'm realizing now is that insight might be cake. And even though I am an insight addict, you can't live without insight. We need a little cake. And admittedly, my experience with assessments isn't all cake. I've done some real muscle building. And thankfully, delivering speeches is muscle building too. So let me know what you think my communication style is, and take a look at the survey and fill it in. Thank you very much.